I just spent 3 days pulling data for 38 home service businesses in the state of West Virginia. These are people like roofers and pressure washers. These are companies that should be getting calls from their Google map every single day. But we found out that only 3 of them actually are. The other 35 are just not even showing up when people search. And I'm about to show you exactly why. I've got the actual data. But here's the thing that I think is going to bother you the most. One of those businesses that's just not showing up online, they've been around for like 15 years. It's a good company with good reviews, real customers. And they're getting crushed online by a company that opened only about 6 months ago. Well, I'm going to show you that comparison, but I'll do that in just a minute. First, let me tell you what made me pull this data in the first place. I'm BG. My team and I help home service businesses get found online and get more calls. And we do that without tricks. We just do it with data. And every week, we pull this data on 50, 75, sometimes 100 local businesses and see who's winning, see who's not, try to figure out exactly why. And this week, I saw something that made me want to hit record on this video and share this with you. Because if you're a contractor and if you're a roofer and if you are a plumber, what I found might explain why your phone's not ringing. Here's what happened. My partner, Skylar, he was pulling information for some outreach that we were doing because we reach out to local businesses and we tell them every week, here's where you're showing up, here's where you're ranking. He's going through some roofers in Charleston and Huntington all across the state of West Virginia. And he says to me, BG, these profiles are rough, like really rough. So I had to jump in and see and said, I think we should count this. Let's see how many actually have the basics in place. So we looked and 38 businesses total, 21 roofers, 17 pressure washers, something like that. And what we found is 3 things that separate the businesses who are getting the calls from the ones who aren't showing up at all. I'm going to show you all 3, but I think this third one is the one that you want to pay attention to because if you get that one right, it's really going to make a world of difference in where you rank locally. All right, let's look at this data. 38 businesses. Here's what we found. 20% of these businesses had no website, none, just a Facebook page or nothing, literally nothing. Now, let me stop you here for a second. Have you heard people say to you, you don't really need a website anymore, that your Google business profile, your map's enough? That is garbage. 1 in 5 of these businesses has no website, and they're wondering why Google doesn't trust them enough to show them to the customers who are searching. So you think about that. You're asking Google to send you customers, but you really haven't given Google a website to prove you exist, and that's how Google matches your information to make sure you're an authentic business. 30% of these businesses had no visible email anywhere, not their Google profile, not on their website, customers literally not being able to reach them except for phone. And here's the one that surprised me the most. Half of the pressure washers don't even have their profile filled out. They've got some basics, maybe address, but they're missing photos, missing services, missing some stuff that tells Google this is a real active business. They're running a business, but they're not showing Google that they're running a business. And then they're wondering why they don't show up when someone searches for pressure washing near me. Let me show you what this actually looks like. This is a roofer who's getting all the calls. See all that green? That's everywhere. They're showing up in the top 3 on Google Maps. 15-mile radius, every search, they're there. Now watch this. Same city, same service. This company has been around longer, has decent reviews, but look at the map. Red everywhere. They're not even showing up 2 miles from their own address. It's the same market, same service. One's getting the calls, one is not. So what's the difference? Well, I promise you it's not luck. I promise you one's not being favored. It's not how long they've been around. It's not even reviews, although that can help. It's 3 things that I want to walk you through, each one of those. And because if you're going to miss one of these, you're going to probably be leaving money on the table. Let's get started. Number 1, a complete profile. When I say complete, I don't mean just filled out. I mean, it actually has to be complete. Photos, not just one, two, three, or four, but like 20. Pictures of your work, your trucks, your crew, your jobs, services listed out individually. Not just roofing, but like roofing repair, roof replacement, storm damage, all of it. Post updates, business descriptions that actually tells Google what you do and where you do it. Number two, a real website that matches. I talked about websites already and why they're important, but here's the deal. Google connects your profile to your website. If your website is broken, if it's outdated, if it doesn't match what's on your profile, your rankings are going to suffer. One of the businesses that we looked at, Skylar pulls up the website and goes, bro, this website is rough. The contact page, it said 1234 Road. The footer had powered by WordPress with the default theme on there. The site hadn't been updated since 2019. That business has been around for many years, and they've got real customers, and they're doing real work and probably good work. But Google sees a broken website and thinks this business might not even be open anymore. You see the tragedy of all this? And here's what the winners are doing. Their websites are going to match their profile. They've got the same information, the same name everywhere else. They've got the same address on the profile that they have on their website, same phone number. Everything's updated on a regular basis, and it looks professional. And because of that, Google can trust them. Now, here's the third one, and this is the one that I said separates the top three from everyone else. Number three is consistency. The businesses getting all of the calls from Google Maps, they're not in a frame of mind of set it and forget it. They actually add photos. They respond to reviews. They're posting updates. They're keeping their profile alive. And here's what gets me about this is that your competitor doesn't have to be better than you are at the services you provide. They don't have to do better work. They don't even have to have more experience. They just have to be more visible. I mean, think about that for a second. Every day you're not showing up on Google, someone searches for your service and they call your competitor instead, not because they're better than you are at the job, but because Google found them first. That's money. That's your money walking out the door to someone who just bothered to keep up their profile and keep it active. Now, real quick, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't have time to figure all this out. I don't even know what's wrong with my profile. Here's what I'll do. We pull this data every single week. We do it anyway. If you want to drop a comment below or you want to click the link in the description, contact me, reach out to me. I'll pull your data for free. I'll show you exactly where you stand, where you're showing up, where you're not showing up, and what's causing it. No pitch, just the data. And if you look at it, you decide you want help fixing it, that's what we do. But either way, you'll know where you stand and you'll have a better idea of what your next steps ought to be. All right, back to what we found. Let me show you what happens when this stuff actually gets fixed. This is a client we worked with. Here's the before. You see all the red. They were not showing up in that external area of their city, of their location. 2 miles, 3 miles, they were okay. 5 miles away, 10 miles away, started to get a little rough. Now here's the after. Look at the green that's filling in, 15-mile radius, showing up for every relevant search, getting found. This is the exact same business, same service, same reviews. All we did was start to fix what was broken. And the calls didn't come from running ads. They came from Google Maps because this business finally started showing up. Here's the reality, though. This isn't hard to understand. You're watching this video, you get it, but it is hard to keep up with. I mean, we do it every day, we know. You're running jobs, you're managing crews, you're dealing with customers. You got a business to run. You don't have time to post to your Google profile every single week. I get that. That's why 35 out of the 38 businesses we looked at aren't doing this stuff. They know they should, they just can't. So if you want to stop getting skipped on Google Maps, here's what you got to remember. You need a completed profile, not one that's just filled out, not one that just has the forms filled in. You have to really dig deep and give Google the extra information it needs to know about who you are, what your business is, so that they can trust you. You need a real website. That's number 2. Actually matches your profile. It doesn't need to be the most complex or award-winning website. It needs to be just something that's accurate, updated, and professional. And you need consistency. You have to stay active, stay online, stay visible all the time. If you miss any one of these, you're going to be handing calls over to your competitor. So now you know what's broken, but knowing what's wrong and knowing how to fix it, that's 2 different things. Contact us if you need some help, but here's what I recommend that you do next. This video right here walks you through exactly how to optimize your Google Business Profile step by step. What to post, how often to post, what Google actually wants to see. It's all in there. Watch that next. I'll see you there.